All right. It looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. I'm Courtney Skinner from Appleton, Wisconsin. We got another letter that came out from Stephen Avery pretty recently, and we'd like to speak about it. I have with me here today my friend Kim and my friend Sharon. Not locals, but amazing local supporters, amazing researchers and helpers and friends of mine. So
Yay.
thanks you guys for being here and keeping this, let's get it going. As everybody knows, I'm not very good at doing these videos and live streaming, so we're just going to wing it like we always do. um, I don't even think I have a copy of the letter in front of me. Do you, Sharon?
I sent it to you, but I don't have it in front of me. How would I get that to you?
Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. It might cut my stream a little bit because I did just want to read the letter quick. So that's
I forwarded it to you right before, but I don't know how to send it again.
Well, I have it. Okay, so I'm going to read this the best I can with my poor eyesight and my terrible computer skills. Okay, this was written on March 13th. It took us a while to address this because there is so much going on, right, you guys?
Yes.
Besides this letter, and of course we've been thinking a lot about it, but I'm going to have fun reading this right now because I want everybody to keep in mind that I think it would be completely appropriate to add to this list. I know that I have a few I would like to add on Stephen's behalf. It says the first page, one of two, love Stephen Avery. Like I said, March 13th, 2022. It says, to all my supporters, well, this is what I need. All these people, I'm sorry, I don't mean, I do have, should be wearing my glasses, and I'm not such a great reader of this, so I'll do my best. Well, this is what I need all these people to do. I need all these people to take a good brain fingerprinting from an expert, Larry Falwell. He is an expert and he does it for the FBI, the CIA, and the SU Navy. I don't know what, I'm sorry, I don't.
U.S. Navy is what he's trying to
Okay,
say.
U.S. Navy. And this will tell you if they are lying.
Yep.
And I do want Dean A. String and Jerome F. Buting to take one too. And I want to know why they didn't do nothing for me. They did not do their job at all. I would have got 4 exclamation points. I agree. Of course, we all know they didn't do their job, but we'll get to that, okay? And here are the names to take the test, okay? Bobby Dassey, Brendan Dassey, Scott Skinny Taddick, Barbara Taddick, Earl Avery, Chuck Avery, Carla Chase, Kayla Avery, Brittany A. LaFlash, Marie Avery, Candy Avery, Michael Osmondson, Scott Blodorn, Ryan Hilgis, James Link, Andy Colburn, Pamela Sturm, Nicole Sturm, Robert Fabian, John Dietering, Josh Radant, Mark Wiegert, Kenneth Kratz, Thomas Fassbender, Jeremy Hawkins, Wendy Baldwin, Tim Hallbach, Mike Hallbach, Norman Gahn, Thomas Fallon, and we're going to the next page here. Oops. Did we get Norm Gahn? Oh, we got Norm Gahn. Okay.
Do you want me to read these, Courtney?
Pardon me?
You want me to do any reading? I will.
Now it's on his second page, he kind of goes over the list again, right? So I've gone through everybody. I love he adds in Jerry Pagel, which I think
there's Tim Hallbach.
Tim, okay.
He got added Sherry Colhane.
Great, thank you.
Karen Hallback.
Okay. Great.
Who else?
Well, this letter's available. I don't really even know how to post the letter. I mean, it's in the title. I don't know if you can zoom in. I don't have that capacity yet. I'm looking for a person to help me. Okay, so it goes through the list on the second page again and adds these people, and then it says you can see the names better on this list he's written out, which is cool because you can. It says this is all for the truth. So if they don't take it, they got something to hide and destroyed evidence. I told all of this new evidence to Dean Strang and to Jerome Buting, and they didn't do nothing at all. They were working for the state. Stephen Avery, time is 4:40 p.m. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's for me, okay, I don't know if you two know this, but when I join on StreamYard, it tells me to shut down Facebook and any other things you have open, just so you know, or it might kick you out of this live stream, just so you know that.
Should I be shut out of Facebook?
I would close down your other things, just because then too, if you get a notification, we don't hear it and whatever. So of course, I have been, when this letter came out for me, the one that he came out with beforehand, pointing at his family, of course, that was lovely. But this one for me made me the happiest because he's still mentioning and pointing at law enforcement, which isn't always spoken of. And I feel pretty confused about which way Zellner's going with that, because she seems to feel like law enforcement is exonerated or is going to be. So I'm really glad to see they're back in the frame job.
Yep.
What do you have to say about it, ladies?
I think they ought to add Chakar. What is his name? Kacharsky?
Charsky?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like him
Peterson.
to add, and I say this a lot because one person that absolutely never comes up in any part of this trial is Jerry Pagel. I really think it's
His name's
Pagel.
on the list.
Right. But
Uh-huh.
so his undersheriff at the time was a guy named Mark Ott.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's also the guy that corrupted my investigation into my brother's case with,
Yeah.
Mike Glazer and Ken Kratz. So I, have sat across the desk from this guy, and he is just a piece of work, I'll tell you. And I find it really interesting that he doesn't come up. His name doesn't come up. And people have said, no, wait, I've seen it, but I've never had anybody produce it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know him too well to know. And I question why Wiegert is more of a spokesperson than the actual undersheriff. And I think I have my suspicions. And then that there was a list of all the badge numbers put out at one time, and it goes all the way down the list. And when it gets to Jerry Pagel, his name is on it and his badge number. And then the slot underneath it's got the badge number, but it's blank.
Why is
Because
Kusuric's name not on here?
I'm not sure. On where exactly.
On this list, his Kusuric's name's not on there.
Because I think that he meant to have Kusurik. Thank you, because there's no way Tom Kusurik shouldn't be on that list. So
Mm-hmm.
he probably,
Peterson too.
Yep.
Well, I think we can add to the list who we all know, and I'm sure Stephen knows too. And maybe it was just a brief, trying to keep it a little more brief.
Right.
Okay.
I recently met somebody that knows a lot about fingerprinting, and I wish I could have had her on here tonight, because of course we know what we know from what Stephen says and what Kathleen Zellner said, and of course that's pretty interesting, of course, right? Because exactly like he's saying, if you don't have anything to hide, why not come forward with it? And I think I did hear from someone that Carla Chase did say she'd take the test, but she wouldn't pay for it. So I know getting a GoFundMe going, I'm not trying to make any money off these people, but maybe getting some money together, or fuck a GoFundMe. I think I can front that for Carla to do this. Did you hear this? Did either of you hear this?
Do we know how much it cost?
To get her a lie detector?
No, are we talking about that or this?
Well, brain
fingerprinting?
right. But I'd even settle for a gosh darn lie detector. If
Well,
we
I
can,
think didn't Barb say she would?
who was it?
Barb,
I thought I heard Carla.
maybe
Corey's
both.
saying Carla pretended she wanted to take the test, but she wouldn't pay for it. I
Mm.
think that's what I heard. Now you're saying Barb. Okay, right. I could be wrong. I laughed when I heard it because I thought, let's do it. Let's get it going. If that's really how easy it might be, because I guarantee you that they're not passing any lie detector test, right?
Oh no.
Okay,
No.
so wish I knew more about the brain fingerprinting. Uh, do either of you? Kind of crazy that I'm on here without knowing much about it. I
Well,
mean,
Well,
I think what they do with that thing is they like hook you up to electrodes somehow or other.
right,
mhm.
Kind of like if you're having an EEG done. But what
right.
it does is it measures the brain waves whenever they ask you a sensitive question, and kind of like the fingerprinting. Uh,
It's something to do too with the way you're able to recall it and the way that your brain lights up
mhm.
if it's in there.
Right.
Because what if it's not in there, it's not gonna hit the neurons or whatever it is. So I
Right.
get what it is and shit, yeah, I'm all for it. So
So, can I say something here?
of course.
I watched a video involving. It was an interview with the gentleman who did Stephen's brain fingerprinting, and he was explaining how it started out. It started out in the government; they used it, and then it went on into they're even trying to uh, assess Alzheimer's. They're trying to assess areas of the brain that are faulty. It's that gone that far with this thing. It's that valid. But
Mm,
what it is that if I if Stephen had killed Teresa, or he knew, even if he knew where the bullet was, or if he knew where something was that he had left, or he knew of evidence that he was hiding, the way that test works is you don't get time to like think about what you're going to say. It fires off something in your brain that you
Hmm.
recognize that thing that he just said, and whatever, if you recognize that, it will light up. Now if you don't recognize it, like in Stephen's case where he didn't have any knowledge, it didn't light up because he had no knowledge.
Right.
That's how it separates the liars from the non-liars.
mm-hmm.
And I wish I had my
Yep.
notes in front of me because I had a lot of information that I wrote down from that interview. It's an excellent interview. It's on
Well,
YouTube.
Sharon, we'll talk more about it then. This was kind
Okay.
of a spontaneous, adventure here tonight. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I just felt so much like I have to say something right now. I've been feeling that way. We all have been, but okay, so does anybody know what the actual chances are of this being done? I know a lot of people are out there going, what a joke. Of course they're not going to get this done. Of course, but is there really any possibility? Is there only one guy in the world doing it? And if he's working
No,
with Zellner,
no, other people are doing it too.
Well, I
He
think
did
if
mention that others are doing it. He mentioned that other people are doing it, and he was the first one that uh, the word's not patented, but he's the first one that brought it to market to show that it worked.
well
And
couldn't
then,
go ahead.
mm,
Sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
Well, couldn't and this just a thought that popped in my head, but couldn't Zellner have those people subpoenaed to have that done?
I don't know if she can or not.
well, they have to agree to do it, and not one of their lawyers is probably going to tell them to do it. None of them are going to
No.
step in. And I
No.
don't even know, of course, and Stephen wants that done. We would all love to see that done, but was he really writing it because he's saying, let's line him up? Or was he just saying, look at everybody involved in me being in a fucking cage? All of these people have shown deception
Yep.
except Stephen, and he's the one
Mm-hmm.
in a goddamn cage, right?
Right. Right.
And of course, yes, let's let's do find out what can happen if it's possible for people to actually come forward and do that or
I think
Abzona.
it's pretty darn amazing that
Yeah.
Stephen put Brendan's name on there, because we know that Brendan was coerced, but this will just automatically just tell the truth. I just automatically, because
Well,
it's
and
not, nothing's gonna fire up in his head.
well, it will clear Brendan as
Exactly.
well, you know.
Exactly.
So, and oh, I might get to my little. I have a little something to say about all of this going on with the what. Well, this letter has come at a time now. What was it? We got a letter from Stephen in the end of January. Then all of a sudden, a letter from Brendan came out. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stephen's letter said my whole family is involved, or we know what he means.
Right.
Brendan's letter says, I want you to quit accusing Bobby, Scott, and Barb. And we all know that Bobby is Kathleen Zellner's prime suspect. And we all around here know that Scott's absolutely involved in whatever's going on. Okay, who was that? Whose phone was that?
Not mine.
Oh, sorry, it was my little notification. I'm so sorry.
Okay, will you shut her down, please? Just because
there.
it'll, okay.
There. Sorry.
Because, okay, so now we got this letter that's now come out again. But between the first two letters, after Brendan's letter came out, there was an awful lot of drama in the community, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
And
Yes.
well, of course there is, because Stephen's saying, look at my family and all of those three people. And now Brendan's come out, and we all pretty much, there's a group of people out here that are honestly seeking the truth and don't have any, connections that keep us from looking at the truth. And it got pretty weird, didn't it, you guys?
Yes. Yes.
Seeing
It
the
was like,
family kind of
well,
cover.
everyone was scurrying.
Hmm.
It seemed to me everyone was scurrying, but at the same time just throwing things out there. No, no. And then they would try to, what it seemed to me, that they brought up things to try to distract and divert the attention somewhere else. And
Right.
when people do that, there's a reason.
Well, anywhere
now-
but on them.
Well,
Well, so what happened there was, and I don't know. I tried to contact the person that gave me this information to see if this was something that I was okay to put out, and she didn't get back a hold of me. And I can be kind of vague about it. I don't know why the fuck it matters, but I was told that back in around 2017 there was a chat group similar to probably like a Facebook chat where we could all get on there, talk, whatever. And at that time, Barb Scott and all the people that believe in Barb Scott, whatever, and Brendan, which we all believe in Brendan, we just all don't believe in Barb and Scott. And the message that I received was that somehow it was communicated through Laura Nyrider back then. And I don't think it's anything that needs to be hidden. I don't think it was anything weird. It really makes a lot of sense for where she's coming from. But she made a statement saying, you cannot support Stephen and Brendan. You have got to make a choice. Okay. So that I think that was 2017. So that is communicated to a group of people that isn't us, because I never got the fucking memo that we
Me
had to
neither.
choose a side here, because I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's the same frame job, and I'm going to say it here, and I'm probably going to repeat it about 20 more fucking times throughout this video. And that is the one and only piece of evidence that they're saying proves Teresa is dead is a fucking tooth. It's not those bones. It was never proven that those bones were Teresa's. Kratz just made it look like he had the evidence, so it wasn't really gone into. And then if you all remember, the whole point of the fucking Avery bill wasn't the whole point of it to was you cannot get rid of evidence if you have somebody, whatever, sitting in jail
It's
on that
someone's in jail.
evidence.
You cannot get rid of evidence if someone has been convicted on that evidence and they're sitting in jail.
Okay, so this again is where I want to mention, if everybody remembers that the bones were given away, I believe in 2011, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they call that bill. They took away the name of the Avery bill, but they used the fucking bill against him.
Yep.
Oh, it's
Okay,
called the
and guess who
Wisconsin.
the
Yeah.
sheriff was? Mark Ott. And
Yep.
guess who Mark Ott handed down the title of sheriff to? Mark Wiegert.
Yep.
So it's
Exactly.
just real fishy to me. And then I'll say this, and this is always at the exact time, I think it was around November 3rd, I believe it was, Mark Ott's nephew, Nicholas Ott, and another guy, I think they were both 18. They picked up a developmentally disabled girl that they went to school with. She was in high school, and they both raped her.
Oh,
So
yeah.
at the time that Mark Ott, this is what burns my dick so much, is that at the time that they're framing Stephen, at the time that Mark Ott is sitting there corrupting my case, and they're the ones that make decisions on who's the shit families, who's the scum, who matters. His own fucking nephew is a rapist. So I think maybe they might have kept him out of that light because of that. But I know he's a dark rat in the shadows, and I know he is. So anyway, he's
The
under
pot
this.
stirrer. He
Isn't
stirs the pot.
Larry Ledvina's father-in-law a pedophile too?
Larry Ledvina is married to Stacy Schindler, who's Bobby Schindler's daughter. She was I think it was a Shoelander. I think as far as I have discovered, I feel like she was married to a guy named Shoelander who worked for MTSO. And then it looks like she must have met Larry at some point, and now she's married to Larry. So Larry Ledvino, was the major, what do you call it, major lieutenant at MTSO. He comes up in the Ricky case. He comes up a little bit in the Avery case, but he's who's coined Lion Larry Ledvina. He's a piece of shit. He's the one that when we went to MTSO with the Trax pictures, and we knew we had Judy Dvorak, so we were like, let's just get it rolling. We know we got Judy, we'll be back for the others. And we gave him the pictures, and it was Larry Ledvina that sat there and told me and Kim Ducat that his reply to us saying, why are all your officers in these pictures? His reply was, how do we know you didn't Photoshop those? Where are the originals? Because obviously they know that the originals are going to get you fucking killed. And then his final thing was, the statute of limitations is over anyway. Who cares if it's all these people?
How do you Photoshop pictures from that far back? Tell me.
It's just not the reply you would expect. I mean, we printed up a statement. We said, we're bringing this in. We're asking you to look at these. And we waited a few months to like, what are they doing? And we kind of knew they weren't going to do anything. And so when we went back in, that was his replies. There was no, he wasn't going to make us believe there was anything relevant about it. So kind of funny. Right, who Larry Ledvina is. And then how I learned so much about the Schindlers is we mentioned this little Larry Ledvina's father-in-law, Bobby Schindler, when Kim Ducat and I did a live on Jack's West's page. It might have been 2020, maybe 2019, but we did a long live on her page, and we called out some of these people. When I started, I knew so much about how dirty the Schindlers were in this area that when I started looking deeply into the Ricky Hochstetler case, I went into it believing it was one of the Schindlers that actually did it, and especially
Wow.
since Sandra Schindler is allegedly who pulled up on Ricky that night. She comes up in most of the newspaper articles as the one who saw Ricky, and she was doing her route and all that, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, weird." And then as I'm doing my research into the Ricky case, and I'm looking into all these Schindlers, you know, with the Crime Stopper report in the Ricky Hochstetler case, they claim they looked at all these vehicles. Well, they did look at some Schindler's vehicles, and one of them that they looked into was a Tom. Well, it's Otto Thomas, or Thomas Otto is his father who's dead. But when they go talk to this Tom, he pretends to be his dad. So I went through this. So then I started meeting with people, and we started digging deep into these Schindlers. And then it's public knowledge. You can look up Robert Schindler. He comes up as a lifetime registered sex offender, and it's for incest. You know, there's just
Wow.
of course there's an awful lot. I don't know who that was against, if it was his daughter or whatever, but his daughter Stacy, as well as being married to Larry Ledvina, Major Larry Ledvina, who just retired, she also runs. I don't know the title of it. Something in the social service department with children. So odd, weird, don't know, but yeah, the Schindlers are sketch, and they Bobby Schindler, I suspect of a very major crime out there. And you know, when we worry about the people coming after us, of course it's these people. It's the, you know, the club, the Freemasons, it's whoever, you know, who the fuck ever. And this is a really dirty fucking family. And I think you could ask anybody in the area for about any one of them. So hate to say it, but yeah, so Larry, being the stupid asshole he is, and then when Kim Ducat and I went in the first time, I think it was, with the pictures. No, it might have been the second. It was the second time, because Jim Tyrell went in with the statement the first time. But when Kim and I walked in, mind you, well, Kim had a camera on Larry Ledvina. I said to her, "You just record the whole thing, because we have every right to do that. We can do this." So when we walk, I think I've told this story before, it might be redundant, but anyway, Larry Ledvina would not even acknowledge that Kim Ducat was a living, breathing fucking human standing there. And I said, "This is my friend Kim," and he would not even look at her. And maybe because she had a camera on him and he didn't know how to do it, but he brought us back and we sat at this little conference table, and that's when he said that about the pictures. And then even throughout the whole conversation, Kim just sat there with that camera right on him, you know? Then he realized, you know, he was an idiot, I don't know. And he said to Kim, "Quit recording." And I said to Kim, "You don't need to." And he said, "This meeting is over." And we both kind of chuckled and went, yeah. Like I said, we, as the non-professionals we are, my fault totally. I forgot to push record. Doesn't really matter though. We ain't lying about it. Maybe they have a recording of it. I mean, I'm sure they have a camera up there of people that walk in. I think I could get the accurate date on that. That would be cool. Anyway, of course, it wasn't at all taken seriously, and Larry
So
Ledvina is a douche.
here's a question. So why do you think that Larry Ledvina did not acknowledge Kim Ducat, or why he thought she wasn't
Because
a
he
real
knows
person?
goddamn well who Kim Ducat is. She's Kim fucking Ducat.
So he chose to be rude to her because of who she was.
That's what I
That was
believe.
rude. That was rudeness and an attempt to um,
It was
not
automatic
be,
rudeness, whether we're rude or not. It's two people coming in with what we feel is very serious, and us being treated like, well, I don't know. I'm a little bit protective of Kim Ducat, because I really do call her Kim fucking Ducat. I have
Yep.
a
but you should
lot of
both be.
respect for the lady, and she's, you know, she's taken enough kicks, and she's the most solid fucking person for Steven, you know? And without her even knowing Brendan so well, she stands fucking firm for him as well, you know? So,
Yep.
and for anybody to treat her as if she doesn't matter pisses me off, because I really believe that she has a lot of respect and support because of who she is. So, you
Can we
know,
go back to something for just a minute?
sure.
You mentioned that Laura Nariter, I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She said you cannot support both Brendan and Stephen.
Right.
Okay. Does Zelda know that she's pushing that narrative or that agenda? I mean, what is that narrative or agenda? Why can't it's the case is intertwined.
Right.
How can that even be
Well,
a
don't you
valid
think it's
statement?
fishy that these same people are out there with their channels saying their entire channels are based on supporting Stephen and Brendan,
Right.
and they clearly
Individually.
do not.
Individually. But
Wha-
individually, I think it's odd.
Well, come
Like,
on, people. Do not let there be so much division. Are we really going to do that?
there shouldn't be.
There should not be. If she
Nope.
claims to have 100% proof it was Bobby, then let's fucking get this shit done, you know?
Well, I mean, you can't you can't you can't not support one without supporting the other, because if it hadn't been for Brendan's coerced confession, none of this none of this would be where it is today. And for somebody to say, well, you just can't. Wait a minute.
But
Yes,
you
you
know,
Yes, you
like
can.
I
can.
said, don't take that for too much because that's what I heard, obviously, third person. I don't think she made this, had to get in there and say, everybody needs to know the rule. I just think it was a conversation and people probably thought about it. But I think it's real interesting. And you know where we're going with this is that this apparently, and fuck, if I'm wrong, I hope the person that told me the correct year, I believe she said 2017, but we only have a few years span in that. But it's ironic that was, we all of a sudden in the last week, was it, you guys, that these fucking pictures came out?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
What day was it?
Friday a week ago.
Friday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like
This
right,
this Friday a week ago.
I wish I knew how to, and I guess I learned today through StreamYard. I can't, but how I could float the screenshots and stuff that I have across the screen because I have these. So, okay, let's just, I'm sorry, I'm the one that keeps going off track, but I'm trying to reel us back in here. We've got these 3 letters. There was a bunch of drama that went on between the researchers over Brendan, over Stevens, a whole huge chunk of researchers that are out here saying they support Stephen have publicly stated that they are not going to address Stephen's letters, that they feel like he wrote them out of depression and despair. And it's more of an embarrassment. And I personally think it's because Kathleen Zellner hasn't come out and acknowledged the letters. So they will not, I don't even know if they support anyone but Kathleen Zellner because I feel like they so silent Stephen. And for them to say that, to actually say to their other group members, we're flat out not going to bring up the Stephen's letter.
Bethany's asking what photos came out recently. She's
We're getting
curious.
there, Bethany. We are getting there.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get there. Okay, so what day, Sharon? Let's start it. Do you remember the day?
Hang on. Give me a second.
Well, let's just say a week ago. Was it not?
It was on
about
a
a week.
Friday.
Yep.
It was on a
Friday?
Friday. Hang on. No, I'll give you the exact date.
No, this last Friday?
No.
Well, yeah, that's been
Friday.
almost a week. Okay.
No. It was when the chat started, and hang on. I mean, it's just taking me just to flip through all these bazillion
Okay,
messages.
it was a week ago. It's not relevant.
Yeah.
Approximately a week ago. These
Mhm.
we get our team, our rockin' ass team here gets a chat message from Sharon, right? And it was a
Mhm.
screenshot of these pictures, apparently of Stephen. There was 4 pictures, and then it was posted by a woman named Christine Franzen, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know where you got them, but what happened was we
Facebook.
Facebook on a
They came
certain.
across I'm trying to think. They came across a post on like something for Brendan or Stephen.
Stephen
And
and Brendan Innocent or whatever.
yes, innocent page. It's that. Yes, thank you, Kim. That's the one on our innocent. That's the page it came across on.
Okay. Will
And
you
it was.
can you hold this thought 1 minute while I say something to the people watching this?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I hate I know you're all leaving chat stuff, but I seriously can't do both, and I
Right.
apologize because
It's okay.
you know I see what you're saying, and thank you. I see you're answering my questions, and and thank you. So please understand that it's just because I'm really new at this, and literally, if I look at the chat, I can't stay focused on what I'm doing. So
I
Right.
my
posted it March.
apologies,
I
and
posted March 18th
okay,
at
right,
10:26 a.m. is when I first posted it, and that was Friday. This Friday
okay.
will be 2
Mhm.
weeks.
Okay,
Okay.
so you all of a sudden on our Facebooks we get a chat invitation from Sharon saying, "Have you guys seen this?" Okay,
Mhm.
and I think there were about 5 of us, some locals and some researchers, right?
Right.
3 people. 4. Anna.
4 and 5, really.
Okay.
5, but we okay, and
Okay.
that's all a part, another part of it. But anyway, what I want to keep us on is that really cool part of what happened there, right?
Right.
So we get these pictures, and of course, as people that do research, we decide, okay, and as amazingly strong supporters of Stephen, we say, okay, what are these? There's no reason to post them. We don't know what they are. We need to get to the bottom of what they are, right?
Exactly.
Then it
Yes.
wasn't like we're freaking out or anything. We each individually sat with the pictures and we commented to each other. I think at the end of the night, we said, let's get some rest. We'll come back to it tomorrow, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
We did.
So, but it was really cool too. And I don't know if in that time span, I think in that time span, it happened where Anna Jaskowski, who we all know as the local here, saying she saw the RAV4, and an amazing woman, an amazing person, friend, researcher.
Yes.
She's really she's really busting her ass on the research. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, what we have gotten in the last few weeks, because I'm trying to bring locals' voices forward, we've gotten a lot of slack from the researchers and what I call them FOBs. That means friends of barbs, friends of barb tactics, where I feel like there's a lot of people in the community that have become friends with Barb, and the story and the friendships, that they're not even so focused on the truth anymore.
Right.
So where am I at? See, I already lost my train
The
of thought.
pictures.
I know that. Thank you.
Oh.
So anyway, okay, Anna. So Anna is on this chat with us, and we're analyzing the pictures. We're all trying to just talk about what's going on. And all of a sudden, Anna comes back and says, I just messaged Jennifer Avery. Because I guess I should explain. We'll get back to that. The pictures were released by a woman named Christine Franzen, and she
Who's friends
said,
with Carla.
yep,
Who's
we're going to
friends
get to
with
that.
Carla. Okay.
We got that. But she's saying that these are pictures of Stephen, and he's with his young daughter, and all she puts is J.A. So he's got a daughter named Jennifer Avery. Okay. So Anna, being the local that everybody wants to believe doesn't know shit about shit, knows a ton about shit, was able to get a hold of the person that is allegedly in the pictures, and Jennifer said it's absolutely not me. And I don't know the exact wording. Anna, if you're in here, flip that in the chat right now and I can quote it. But I think the rest of it was something like, that family is fucked up, to that to that regard. Okay, so pretty cool that we were able to right away acknowledge that it wasn't Stephen's young daughter. Okay, I wish we could show the pictures right now. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared enough, but I'm not going to give these pictures too much merit, right? So Christine Franzen says in this post, if you, either one of you can pull it up, bring it up. Okay, wait, I
I've
got
got
this.
it.
She said that was absolutely not her, and that the reason why she doesn't associate with that side of the family is because there's too much drama. That's what Jennifer Avery said. Okay, but
Oh,
we have direct communication with her, and she's saying, not me. Okay, check. We're going through our list of what we need to do because we need to, right? We also notice in the pictures there are actually 4 pictures. It's 2 series of pictures. The top 2 is Stephen with one female. The bottom 2 is Stephen with another female. Totally looks like a different night, whatever. Christine Franzen is saying that these pictures are going to come out anyway, but she's had them for 4 years. And now that Stephen is pointing at the family, she feels like she should release these pictures. Okay.
I have something to interject here
Give her, let's hear it.
that I never put on the chat because the person asked me, I promised them I wouldn't say who they were. But the Saturday morning after this, I went out and I contacted someone who's probably, you can guess if you want or not, I'm not going to say, probably the closest person to Stephen
Okay.
in his life. And she actually got to contact with Stephen. And he said, that is not me. He said, and she confirmed, he does not own or wear white underwear. And that's why we thought they were photoshopped to begin with.
Yep.
That's where the photoshopping came in.
Well, and they
Where we were
were
thinking about that.
suspicious in that regard, but then and right, Sharon, yes, thank you for
But
adding
that was
that because
confirmed. But he did say to this person, he said this. She told her, "That's not me." Now I don't know what that means, but
well,
I don't
he's
know.
saying it's not him. He's saying there are no pictures that exist, and if they were of him and Jody. Okay, but
Right.
first of all, we have to remember that the man has been in jail for how long now? He don't know what fucking pictures are out there, and
Yeah.
as far apparently, we reached out to a few other people, and they were saying that those pictures have been out a while. They've been
Some
out
of
for
his
years,
albums. Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Right, and they came from a family member's personal photo album. So there's
Right.
apparently one of the Avery family has their own family photo album, and in it is these pictures of Stephen that are right now coming out from a woman named Christine Franzen. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me bring you, thanks. Will you two bring me back to where we are right now? Because I have a little bit of my own experience with Christine Franzen that I think is really interesting. And just today again, I think I put more together with it.
Well, just
Christine,
share
okay,
it. Yeah, share it. Yeah.
okay, but you bring me back to where we are, okay, Sharon, because I'm going off track, but this to me is relevant for what I'm experiencing.
Well, I basically we were talking about the family.
Right, don't bring me back yet. Let me go off and then you bring me back to here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay. So I in 2018 is when I kind of got back into the case and I got on TikTok Manitowoc and finally spoke up and got a little confused on there, blah blah blah. In the meantime, I reached out and met Kim Ducat, right? We didn't have this tight friendship at first. I've met her at the rallies, whatever. I met her at the one rally right after Making a Murderer, and then I reached out to her and we had short interactions, but I thought she was awesome. And then I just really reached out to her and forced her to be my friend, basically. And I really liked her immediately because she's very compassionate and she's just a cool person. So in 2019, it's got to be 2019. So I just, as much as I am online, I'm not a Facebooker. I watch a little bit of YouTube, which would have been, Eric Jose and well, I guess
Allie.
maybe it was after Allie and all those guys. It sure was. Okay, so I ended up being part of Ma'am-a-thon 2019 because I was working with Mama Casey, Allie Apperson, and I went off on Allie. I admit that because there was a lot of weird stuff. Doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. So in the meantime, they've created this Mamathon 2019, and including Allie and Mama Casey. My story came up with them because they're helping me with my story. Anyway, I had a weird thing happen with that, and I severed my ties to it. I didn't really realize my name was on any Mamathon. I only realized it like a few years ago when you look it up. Anyway, talking to Kim Ducat, I said, "There's this rally coming up." And she's like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't know. Do you know anything about it?" She didn't. I didn't. And I said, let's find out who's putting it on, who's running it. We couldn't find anything. I said to Kim, barely, I said, there's a rally that's supposed to be going on in Manitowoc. We don't know if anybody's organizing it. And I've totally said to Kim, you're going to need to step up here because a rally's kind of a big deal. We got to plan something, and blah blah blah. I said to her, from the perspective of somebody that has seen the Making a Murderer, knows the case, knows everybody involved. What I want to draw people to the rallies. That's who I am. I want people to show up. And I said one of the things that I feel that I want to know most about is the family. I want to know how Dolores is doing. I want to, at the time I was like all about Chuck and Earl and those poor family members, right? Excuse me. And so I said to Kim, the last rally, everybody went to the Avery salvage yard. Is that something that goes on H1? And she said, yeah, it seems like it does. I said, do you think it'll go on this year? She said, probably. I think we could make that happen. And I said, well, I think, how about if I donate and I buy like a shit ton of brats so everybody can come to the after rally part, because my thing is I want to draw thousands. I know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of people know they're innocent, but people don't show up for the rallies. So I live here. I want people showing up. I want the town to understand. So I said to Kim, I think I would donate the brats. She goes, I think I have a buddy that would donate the buns. And here again, I'm on TikTok or Reddit. I associate in, or whatever the fuck I do in TikTok. That's where I'm doing my social media or whatever. Not that I'm a big part of it. That's just where I'm comfortable. So I say to Kim, can we, okay, let's plan it. And she said, let's do it. I said, so can I make a post about this? She said, yeah. I said, wait a minute. Are you sure you don't need to check with anyone? She goes, no, I think it'll be fine. She thought it would be fine. Mm-hmm. And I did. I put it on TikTok, and I don't know. It was literally minutes later that I got a message from Christine Franzen. And she was saying, I don't have it anymore. Maybe I could pull it up from somewhere. Maybe if I went on to Reddit again, maybe. It basically said, what the fuck are you doing? Who are you to invite everybody? And then I got a message from Carla. Never spoken to Carla in my life. I knew, of course, who she was, but I didn't know everything I know now. Carla, okay, this nephew of Steven's, I guess, cousin of Brendan. And she said in it, basically, Kim Ducat's not as close to the family as you'd think, and I'll talk to Kim Ducat. So pull that post, and when we're going to get a group together in support of the rally, and we'll let you know. Okay, right? Well, It's funny because that's how illiterate I am on the game that goes on, because what I did is I sat down and I designed my own flyers, and I made 200 flyers that said "Rally for Justice" for Teresa Halbach, and
Mhm.
they were pretty cool. And I took them all over, and I talked to people when I brought them, to Calumet County, Manitowoc County, and stuff. So basically, I thought, I don't know what the world is doing, but I'm gonna get this shit going. Whatever is going on, I'm part of it. And then we knew they were organizing this rally, and that they didn't invite us to come in, and it was kind of strange. And I think that of course hit Kim a little differently, because she was already skeptical. She was already thinking something's fishy with the family. Like, they're
Mm-hmm.
profiting off this. They're making
Yep.
these rallies aren't about standing for Stephen and Brendan.
Right.
She said this is the Carla Barb show. And Kim said, I will step back. This is the Carla Barb show. Okay, so that was the Mammothon Rally 2019, and then I went. In the Mammothon, when I was working with Allie and Mama Casey, at one point Allie got on live with Perplex QT.
Yeah.
And I liked the lady until this night. I thought she kind of cracked me up. But she got on there and said that told Allie, don't touch this Courtney Skinner, because she's just out there trying to cash in on the Ken Kratz fame, right? So that started my
Oh,
falling out there.
Lord.
But in one of Allie Epperson's lives, and I'm not getting down on Allie, she did all right. I'm not saying that. There's a lot of emotion in all of this, but
mhm.
so anyway, after Perplex said that about me, I said, fuck you all, like that. It just, it hurt. It sucked. It took me a long time to get anybody to even hear me, and then to have her say that. So when I went to this rally, I the only thing I'll say, well, Kim Ducat was going to meet me there, and she didn't. That's where that whole stupid sign thing comes in. I made my signs and other people used them, but I'm going to say it right here for the first time. Not that it matters so much, but it matters to me, is that, well, for one, in the video that Allie did, somebody on her live stream said, Courtney Skinner and all the families in those counties need to show up at those rallies with their own signs. Like, let's bring it all together. Let everybody speak up against the corruption there. So naturally, I showed up with my laminated Mark Ott sign, and on the other side, my laminated Mike Klaser as the truth eraser, with
Yeah.
also a sign underneath saying these Mike Klaser falsified evidence in Walter Kristen Skinner's 2005 case, and then on the other side, the same about Mark Ott. So kind of funny, but I also was determined. I'm like, I'm here to stand for these men. I'm here to stand against injustice. And I was totally shunned by everybody there. Like, honestly, like, even I think Mark Hodnett might have given me a nod or a hello, but I don't really think so. But even Eric Jose, he didn't talk to me. Paul Capaldi, when I was leaving, I was walking through the parking lot. I said, thank you to Paul. Thanks for what you do.
Are they locals?
No, they're not, but they were all in town that year for their rally. And so
Okay.
I've gone off on Allie and Mama Casey, and now this whatever. So I'm sure I probably presented as not very supportive of the cause, but nobody really knows what the fuck is going on here with me and what I'm, trying to help with or whatever. So at that rally, you will see that it's Christine Franzen, it's Carla, it's Barb, I actually gave Barb a hug at the after rally part at the they had a little conference room at a hotel after we all went to the salvage yard. And I even went up to her and gave her a hug and said, I'm so sorry that you and your family are going through this. So, but it was really awkward for me because nobody was going to talk to me. The one amazing person that walked right up to me with a shit ass grin on his face, sweet guy, and said, what's your story? What does your sign mean? Was Stacy Seabrook. So yeah, he's a great musician and all that, but he's just a goddamn delightful, amazing soul. And he really did make me feel. And there were some other people that came. Anyway, I'm getting way off on that. The point I'm trying to make was, I believe that was 2019. That's the fucking rally that Christine Franzen and Carla fucking planned. So Christine Franzen is saying, I had these for 4 years. Well, doesn't that make it like 2018? So
I've seen
you've
the
had these,
Yeah.
but you literally, and now I'm thinking today, did she show up as a supporter for Stephen? Because we know now she's showing up in working with the people that are doing convicting
well
of
now
convicting a
Yeah.
murderer.
I saw some pictures. I went on to when the Stephen pictures came up. I went to Christine's website, her Facebook page, and I saw some pictures of her at that rally because I identified who she
Right.
was, and she
There's
was
a there's a kick-ass picture with her and Kim Ducat.
Yes.
I mean, one of the best pictures I've ever seen of Kim.
Yep.
So it's insanity. I believe these pictures came out because we're looking at the family and Steven's looking at that fucking family. And this is the quickest way they thought to turn it back to making him look like an evil motherfucker. And what's funny about it is, again, you're going to have to find the pictures yourself because we're not going to go into much detail because we even know almost everybody behind releasing these pictures. You brilliant people, you. But the point is in the pictures, and we have all, and the other people, not just in our chat, other people also looking into this have gone that deep. And if you look at these pictures, in no way are these females being restrained. There is no force or violence involved.
Right.
The bottom pictures are actually of one young female. I don't know. I don't care. I guess there isn't one single thing inappropriate about the bottom pictures. The top pictures, which we think are Photoshopped because he's wearing white underwear, the man doesn't wear underwear. He started wearing underwear. I don't know. I know he says he doesn't have white underwear, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't even wear underwear. But maybe we need a brain fingerprinting on that shit.
Maybe.
But anyway, the top pictures. I mean, that the action was pretty fucking deep when you can even when you hear from people that are not even in support of Stephen that are saying, yeah, those pictures have been out for a while now.
And no one's seen them, right? And no one's seen those. And and why were they brought out? Because as his letter was, it's like the snowball rolling downhill, collecting more snow, and all of a sudden, bam, those letters, the pictures come out.
Do you guys think, because I'm starting to think that those pictures were shared way back then, and it's also why this alleged research community has drawn such a line, or they won't say they've drawn a line. We notice a very big line, but they won't state they've drawn a line on whose side they're on.
No, what I think is that those pictures, like you said, what they say, the type of family it is, I think there's a hope. I think, given the Avery family, I think those pictures were not considered raunchy, in any way, and I think they just ended up in an album from some event, and voila, they need something. And wait a minute, I think I have something. Let me go through this album.
Well, and
I think that's what happened.
Well, oh fuck no, I think
you don't
that.
Think so?
Well, I think that they've been holding these pictures. I think they pulled them out a long time ago. And I think that everybody that's out there, the fobs, the friends of Barb's, the ones that are acting like we support the truth and the facts, and that and I think that they think the only proof and facts are the videotape of Brendan being coerced, so they're going to stand behind that. So I think they decided right along the time that Nyrider said you need to choose a side. I think this community of researchers has known about these pictures for all this time.
Yeah.
I just a thought. I could be wrong about that, but we certainly know that Barb, Carla, Earl, Chuck, and those fucking assholes knew about them.
Oh,
let's not forget Skinny.
But here's some defense. I mean, here's a thought.
Yeah.
If that's the worst picture in that album that they can come up with of Steven, he looks like a choir boy compared to some of the others.
Well, and
You see what
okay, and I think I read somebody that commented too said that there's actually a can of Cheese Whiz involved in it, and then okay, that we don't know, but like
Oh
I
my
said,
gosh.
they're two different females, they're two different times of pictures, but for her to have put them all out saying this is all this one person is just so fucking irresponsible. But whatever, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just what you get, right? And it's
Yeah. Shit.
So you asked to take you back to where you were, and that what I wrote down was that Christine put out the pictures that were in the family album. That's what I put down where we were at when you said take me back to where we were.
good.
And I think we're already covering that.
Yep, we brought ourselves right back, but
Yeah,
we're saying that she is directly connected with Carla Barr. Now,
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing that is interesting that just recently came up too is some posts like we were talking about in the last video where Barb literally posted a year ago or even longer probably where she says, if you want the real truth, the prosecution made Scott and Bobby say what they wanted them to say,
yes,
right?
yes.
Mhm. Yep.
So it just seems a little strange that these pictures are now coming out, and and we also I think made it pretty clear that as much as the Fobs and Barb and Scott and Bobby, or Barb, I don't know, Barb's the only one yapping right now, and by the way, she is no longer Barbara Ellen, she is now Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann,
Really?
so no longer Barbara Ellen. I don't know
Where
the
did
details.
Anne and did she? Okay, her name was Barbara Ellen, but now it's Barbara Ann.
Yep, I don't have the
Interesting.
details on that. Maybe some of the fobs could get on and tell us. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it's just a little bit too much. But I think that we also established that Brendan was also, people don't like it that I use the word coerced when it comes to Brendan, because yeah, we should all be a little touchy about it because that he was coerced. But I think he was coerced in that letter too. Sorry. But the family seems to be revealing themselves in interesting ways, even
Mm-hmm.
by the things that they deflect. They don't really have to, come out and lie about it. They have to not even answer the question, which makes it interesting.
Bethany says, sure it isn't Chuck with Steven's face. No, I do not think that skinny little worm. I do not believe that that's Chuck. I believe it's Earl with Steven's face. If you want to know the truth,
I
because
don't know
Steve.
who. Okay, go on. I'm sorry, hon.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because, you know, our little fatty boy Earl, Steven never was that heavy when he came out of prison. So
And Earl and Stephen look alike, and Earl was younger than Stephen, and they look them too. Earl, I mean, what's this? The other one don't look like the two of them.
no, but that body, I'm looking, I'm looking at the size of that body. My God, is it
For a
balloon?
young
I think
person
the point
too.
is if they don't, I don't know. I mean, I think if like they have the one female's face blocked out, redacted in some way. I mean, there isn't even. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, there's nothing. There's no further research we can do with that picture done like that. And
Mm-mm.
and then I'd like to say too that in those pictures, I do want people to see him so they can look as closely as we all have, that he's not in any way forcefully or violently restraining anyone. As far as I'm concerned, in that picture with the redacted face, whoever that female is pulling him in. Whether it's for a kiss, because we don't know. It might have been because there was a fucking apple between their lips. How do we know? But I can tell
Mm-hmm.
you what, she wasn't trying to get him off of her. you can look very closely at the pictures, at the way that his hands are holding the one young woman or whoever. It's playful. It's fucking playful. So dirty dog down, you bitches, putting these out, huh? And even dirtier that they went silent about it all, right? Because all these people and these researchers that have, that aren't even supporting Stephen, they just had nothing to say about it, right?
Well, even the comments on Facebook were from the people, because this one gal named Candace, she's the one. Oh, that's how I found it. She posted it on that Stephen Avery and Brendan Are Innocent page. This Candace gal, and I have her name somewhere, and I sent it to the group. But anyway, she says, I find it appalling that this picture is being put out there, and then it shows Candace is the one that put it together. That's how I got it. But this, and then the same person, this Candace, and some other people on that Facebook thread, they said, isn't it interesting that that person's just gone totally silent, like no comments, no rebuttal or anything once they'd done it.
Well, it's a real touchy thing, isn't it? Because we were a little shocked by him, but
I
not
was
shocked.
shocked.
But we weren't like, I was shocked that I was more shocked that they came out right now. I never looked at him and went, what the fuck? I never looked at him and went, these are gonna, bury him for life at all. I wasn't shocked in that way. I was shocked that they came out. I was shocked there was not very little explanation. And then, like I said, for me, I was totally shocked it was Christine Franzen.
So can I read this post? I won't give the name of
Yes,
who said it, but
do it.
someone on that group. This is a follow up to the pictures and Candace posting her thoughts on it. Someone on that group is definitely playing puppet master. The woman who leaked them is not making one comment, and that's Christine. That's
Well,
exactly what was said.
so let's talk a little. Okay, so I like this part of it too, that as we're looking into these pictures, Kim Ducat is in our chat, right? You know this. And Kim Ducat, we remembered it must have been after 2019. I guess I'd have to talk to her. But there was a time where I remembered she had told me she got a message from Christine Franzen. And Christine, all she said was that she had some kind of falling out with Carla. So I feel like it was a few years ago, maybe after this. I really don't know. I don't know what it was about. I don't know what their conversation was. Kim Ducat's not real. I don't know. I don't know how much more they talked about it. But anyway, so in this, as we're in this chat, Kim Ducat is able to send a message to Christine Franzen and ask her what this was about. And I think I could be wrong, but I think Kim felt like, and I think we did it for a bit there too, that Christine was she kind of came off as saying, I'm going to do this now. She didn't really come out and say it because I think Steven's a guilty motherfucker. She only said because they're coming out anyway. So Kim Ducat sends her a message saying, what's it about? And then she gets back to her. Well, I don't know what the interaction was, but explained, and she said, Steven's guilty, you'll find out. And then she blocked Kim. And then a little later, she went back and said, it's in this video, and it was the convicting. We all know it's convicting a murder, that whole deal that came out a while, or they're trying to sell, just like Netflix bought Making a Murder. There's a whole nother spiel going on, and that opened up some fucking hilarious shit for us too, didn't it? Because it was a 2-minute trailer, right? And we're all sitting listening to this trailer, right? Weren't we? Okay, so again, I know I'm a local with no fucking quality perspective here, but for one, okay, we're watching this trailer. I don't know, Sharon, if you have, but I know that Kim Vest, are you back on, Kim? All right. she's lost us, and I don't know how to get her back on. So,
Something came on, said you and one other person are in audio only or something.
well, I don't know what happened, but I can't get her back. So,
So I remember. So remember when I looked up. So I was curious about the Brenda chick that was the producer. So I did some diving. I went out and looked up and saw where she lived, and she was kind of a local. And turns out her biggest accomplishment up to the point of this convicting a murderer was that she did. She was a fact checker on Ken Kratz's book.
this is
Well,
Brenda Schuler.
yes, that was her biggest accomplishment up to that point. And so all of a sudden, she's at Fact Bender, and I think it was Fastbender's. Who's married to
Okay,
someone
but
named Kathleen?
let's
Anyway,
start it from the beginning though, Sharon, because
okay,
we have to explain the trailer. So this trailer comes through our chat, and we're all, going away to listen to it, and turns out that there's a woman that is the producer of Transitions Studios, which is putting
mm-hmm,
out this convicting. Her name is Brenda Schuler. So the first many minutes is this woman saying, "I just knew there was more to the story and there was some truth," and it pans into different times where she's doing research or standing up for the truth, right?
right.
So then in it clips to some other parts, Ken Kratz saying whatever. But anyway, I'm watching this thing, and all of a sudden I realize that this Brenda Schuler, I know her too. So this is a strange story, but also funny about the depth of the deception, because I know when people call at the salvage yard, and if Chuck and Earl are working, they say, "Get it to Zoner. If you got something, get it to Zoner. Get it to Zoner." Okay, so our buddy Jim Thyrell, who's friends with Chuck Earl, or actually friends with Al Dolores, but also Chuck Earl. He goes there, whatever their association is. Jim was going out there this last year, maybe within the last couple of year. I don't know. Fuck, I'm all up out of my years here. Anyway, Jim's out there one day, gets a hold of me, he says, "Hey, you should see Earl Avery's girlfriend. She knows you." And I was like, "Who?" And he gave me her name, and I looked her up. I looked her up kind of silently, like, that's weird. Like, who do I know that would be dating Earl? And then I was like, gosh, she does look familiar. And then I remembered her. I don't even know if it was a full year. I went to high school, ninth grade, in Freedom, Wisconsin, Freedom High School, which is between here and Manitowoc, whatever. So I'm like, wait a minute, her name was Brenda Grody, but yep, I remember her. And then I was like, what the hell is she doing with Earl? But anyway, Jim also said that he said to Brenda, "What the hell are you doing with Earl?" And she said, because they were saying this was Earl's girlfriend. When Jim would go out there and see this Brenda, they were saying this is Earl's girlfriend. And and Jim said to Brenda, according to Jim, he said, "What the hell are you doing with Earl?" And she says, "Oh, I like the big boys." Well, in my head,
Oh
I was
boy.
going, when he told me that, I'm like, I don't care what you like about the big boys when they're fucking pedophiles and they're filming young girls. You can't like them anymore. But whatever. I thought she also told Jim that she's seen all of my videos. So obviously she knows who Jim is. She knows who I am. And now I'm watching Convicting a Murderer, the second trailer I've ever seen. The first trailer I saw, it wasn't these same people. And now we got this Brenda Schuler, and I'm watching it going, that's fucking Earl's girlfriend. Now I realize they were just bullshitting Jim.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Earl's girlfriend. She was out there literally filming Convicting a Murderer. And in
Mm-hmm.
this trailer, there's a part where Earl is like crying and wiping tears from his eyes. So how the
Oh.
fuck is Earl out there supporting his brother all these years, supporting his brother, but he's also in a fucking documentary saying that he's guilty? What the And does Zelda know this? I mean, like,
Oh, she can't keep up with all what's going on, I'm sure.
well, I'm
Too much
pretty sure that there's a
craziness.
whole family page out there saying they support Stephen and Brendan, the family page. We all know that after Dolores died, Earl came right out and said, fuck Stephen. He fucking did it. You know? So, interesting, huh?
Yeah.
That this woman that's acting like, I'm the producer at Transition Studio and I just knew something more was going on. Well, I re- I actually would like to know what she knows. How the heck did she clear Scott and Bobby? How'd she clear Bobby? Wouldn't it be nice to have her information? Pretty
Well,
sure. And then again, she's from fucking what, 35 miles from Manitowoc. She's not just some random woman going, I'm going to get to the truth and I'm going to produce this movie because it's the truth with Ken Kratz. She's fucking from Freedom. Give me a break. And the bitch never got a hold of me. She never got a hold of Kim Ducat. She never got a hold of the people in this area that actually know the truth, so she don't know shit. And then as we're watching that trailer, I realize I'm in the fucking thing.
in the
At
trailer, what do you mean?
in the convicting trailer, I'm in it.
What do
At
you
the
mean?
1 minute and 23-second mark. Is that right? 1 minute, I think, yeah. I'm standing at the goddamn 2019 Mammothon rally with a sign,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm looking right at the camera, kind of pissed. It kind of freaks me out. And what's really funny about it is,
They didn't ask if they could use. I wonder who they went to get the permission for that footage.
listen to me.
Because you have to ask somebody, don't
Oh,
you?
I don't think so. I'm at a public rally and I don't think
Not
they
you,
need
but
to
I
ask,
mean,
but don't anybody fucking try to tell me there isn't a reason that I'm out here going to the board of regulations, whatever it's called on Ken Kratz, and I am actively in saying Calumet County, Mark Ott, Jerry Pagel, Mike Klaser. I will never give up. I want him removed from office. I wanted him removed from office long ago. And now I show up in convicting. And what's more ironic about it, because I'm holding my Mark Ott sign, is I was shunned at that rally, so I can't remember who was behind the camera. I
Wow.
can't remember who was standing there filming me where I'm looking directly at the camera, really pissed off. But here's the irony of it all is that we have these a few of these alleged researchers that are really heavily attacking us. And one of them is this woman named Nosy Wren. And she won't really say who she is. And I'm kind of trying to point out who she is because she's trying to say she's a Manitowoc local, blah, blah, blah. A lot of animosity between me and her, especially right now, because she's whatever. So in this documentary and at this rally where I'm shunned, the one person, someone standing directly next to me, and it's Nosy fucking Wren.
Oh gosh.
Isn't that something? This woman that is,
Mm.
violently wanting to, she goes out there and tells people I'm obsessed with her and Mystic Jinx and stuff, blah, blah, blah. She's working with the fobs is what's
The
going on.
fobs.
But
The
it's
circle that
funny that, so when I tried to, she hides who she is. So when I was trying to point out and expose who she was acting like I'm just a terrible researcher. But what is really crazy is she stood by me on that line at that rally a great portion of the day, screaming with me. Totally thought I was a cool person. We were laughing at some of the shit we were screaming at the cars going by. And then it was probably maybe once they realized that I was to be shunned by everybody, that then they wouldn't talk to me anymore. Like they didn't talk to me when we went to the salvage yard. They didn't talk to me at the conference room or anything. It was like, ugh. So it's just really very crazy that this chick shows up in this. And then there's a part in it too. She's giving me shit that she's not trying to hide who she is. She's not trying to hide. But when they finally get to her face, she's got a sign like, where's my camera? She's holding it up so you can't even see her face. So it's just weird because these are the people attacking us. And
Who won't show
she's
their
at the same
face.
fucking rally with Christine Franzen, right?
Mhm.
Well, was Christine at the 2019 rally now? Because that had to have been 2018 because Kim Ducat's in the pictures. And she wasn't at the 2019 rally. I'd have to look to see if Christine Franzen, but it's not really relevant because she was at the 2018 rally, and that's 4 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And I just really think that all these people have had in the back of their mind, and they don't, I don't know, maybe they don't know how to speak up about the way they actually feel about being divided and supporting Brendan, but not so much Steven. I mean, I'd like them to declare what they're doing, but even if they declare it, I don't know if I'd sit and listen to it. So,
Okay.
where are we at?
June the 12th, on June 13th, 2019, is when the crowd was at the salvage yard.
Right.
June 13th.
2019.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, there you go. It is 2019. But Kim was not at that rally. The pictures that I have of Christine and Kim are from a previous rally.
Well, there's a rally here that was on October 19th of 2018, and there's someone in a wheelchair, and that's Dolores
No,
in the
that's
front.
Dolores. Yep.
And then what's, Barb, and so let me see. Let me keep looking through these pictures.
Okay, and I don't know how relevant it is what the year was exactly because we're still in the time frame of Christine Franzen allegedly showing up to support Stephen,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously not. So it makes you question every asshole at the rally. And I don't want to dog Mammothon. It wasn't a good experience for me, and that's why I'm where I'm at with it all, because I feel like there's a lot of clickiness, and I don't.
Okay, I got something else.
What you got?
So October 18th, there's some pictures. October 19th, 2018, there are pictures from Avery Salvage Yard with some people, but it doesn't look like a large group.
It doesn't matter though, Sharon.
Okay.
Because it is
Okay.
what it is. They obviously didn't show up saying Steven's guilty and I'm going to hang out with this crowd.
Okay, I thought you were
And
trying
what
to
she's
pinpoint the
saying is,
dates.
I've had these pictures for 4 years, but I'm going to put them out now. When she's literally, even to this day, do you know that if you go on Facebook, you could look up the rally group for Stephen Avery, Brenda Dassey. I think there's 650 members. Yet maybe 50 show up for the rallies. Like, what's going on? I think don't you think it's weird? I mean, it's almost like they're trying to keep these rallies small,
I think it's because there's people like me that are out of the area, and Kim Vest and people like that, that won't make a showing because we support them and we're on the pages, but we don't show up for the rallies.
Well, and I have a little bitterness with everybody that is out here claiming to support them so much, but not showing up for the rallies because I don't think these officials care about people on computers. There's no threat to them. People
Right.
need to come forward, and I don't know. I wouldn't even mind getting close to cutting this off here, but here's I have something. There is one piece of proof that they say holds Stephen and Brendan in cages right now. There is one, and that is one tooth of Teresa Hallbuck's.
But I did see a YouTube video from, it was a doctor or somebody. I try to watch the good ones, the proven researchers. Supposedly, I believe it was Mind Shock was one of them, and I've heard it before. There was a root. There were two pieces of a root of a tooth that doctors, they kept, well, I always calling him Dr. Smiley, but it's like Simile or something like that. The dentist, he glued it together with super glue to try to make a root that he could get DNA from. But apparently, what I heard is that you really couldn't use that. You had to have the tooth itself. So I'm not sure that's a valid
All right,
piece
that's
of
even
info.
better. I know when Kim talked to Steven, I don't know how long ago, that he was saying it's just a tooth. You know,
It's not
those
a tooth.
bones were never proven, people.
There wasn't a tooth and there wasn't a complete root, but they had the pieces. Can you imagine that? Here's this dentist in here trying to put this together. He goes, "Oh, well, I'll just use some super glue. This is just a capital murder case, but I'll just use super glue."
Well,
Think
I
about
can.
that.
I actually. I don't want to waste it for right now, but I'm gonna prove that I have a fucking tooth right now of mine. I got a tooth sitting in a dresser right now. You know, when you
Hmm.
get a wisdom tooth pulled and it breaks into four pieces, yeah, I kept it. I thought that was pretty remarkable. So yeah, I
Yeah,
got that.
you could glue it together with super glue.
And why does it even need to be glued? If they did what they're saying that they did, I wouldn't
Exactly,
expect a tooth to be all one. But
because
what
they
I'm
had to
saying
come up.
is that
They
those
had to have
bones,
something to
what
come
people
up
don't,
with.
what's that?
They it was a better it was better proof at that time. They thought, oh, we'll just make this look official by putting it together where it looks like it's a whole root of a tooth. I guess.
Hmm. But we have
I
to,
don't know.
like, what the world doesn't know is that those bones were never ever proven to be Teresa's.
Right.
And Kratz kind of, you know, deceived by not, you know, he acted like that they were hers and there was nothing more gone into about it. But like I said, so for everybody that is like, we're going by proof, we're going by facts, there's one fucking tooth that is
Mm-hmm.
keeping both of these men in cages. And great that nobody, I mean, imagine if we all showed up. Imagine. Because there
Mm-hmm.
is no fucking reason in the world that either of these men should be in prison right now on
Absolutely.
one fucking tooth.
No.
So they need to be freed today, immediately. Am I wrong?
No. You're right.
Because I'm not shitting you. I was telling my sister that I was going to pull out my tooth, and she goes, oh. And she gave me a box full of teeth from her and her kids. And, you know, so I was gonna do a little skit and shake it out of a fucking little dresser violently, shake it out to get that tooth out. How can anybody anywhere tell me that one tooth is keeping these men behind bars? I don't give a shit about the logistics. I don't care about what Zellner's doing. I don't give a shit about Tom Fallon or Gone or Mike Glazer or fucking Ken Kratz. This can't be happening. They gave the bones away, and there's no way to prove them anymore. They
They
cannot
illegally
be
gave the
held with
bones.
the only evidence being a tooth. So, can we get them out? Why are we not all showing up? What more do we need to do? What more? How can we even be sitting here and going through another second of anything when the truth is we need to fucking show up and get them out,
Right.
wherever it needs to happen without an agenda of somebody's clique doing a better job at a rally than another person's clique, because all I can say is hopefully this year, like once a year, I get to go out and scream my goddamn face off that Steven's innocent, that Brendan is innocent, that this fucking state is corrupt, and I can't do it anywhere else. I could do it a little bit here, but you what people aren't understanding is, yes, these rallies are small, but it's because there is a problem with everybody claiming to support him and not showing up. This is part of supporting him, and it really makes them look very irrelevant when so few people show up. So it's
Right.
actually a negative thing all the way around. So
Right.
if people were so inclined to actually do that, and and maybe plan on staying a while. Let's get it done, you guys. How much can they keep? How many people will it take? And it doesn't have to be millions of people, but how many people can show up and say, we know what we got. We know, we all know what the laws are. They have a goddamn tooth, people. They have one fucking tooth. So we all see all the mistakes made, but why are they going to keep suffering the consequence? You know what? If there's one tooth, how about we know there's a big goddamn problem. Why don't you let them out till you figure it out? And but why are they paying for it?
Right.
And I wanna talk about this part of it, that, and one of the reasons that I think that it's so important to hear what Stephen is saying, because we all really do get to sit here on a computer and we get to talk about it, and then we get to walk to the park with our kids or grandkids, and we get to have a life. And what we are failing to remember, I mean, we put so much of our lives into it, and we all do a good job, I think, with the researching and our passion in it. But what we're not remembering is that they are literally living in cages, and that they're monitored at all times, and that they have to like shit in front of people, and that they have to eat like there are these two human beings that we are always out here researching and looking into and saying we want to help, and somehow we have to bring it back to these human beings that are living in cages, because that's what it's about. That's certainly what it's about for Stephen. He's over it. He's fucking over it, wouldn't you be?
Yep.
And I believe that he does not give one shit what it's going to take right now to get him out of that fucking cage. And I hear him.
And he don't care how many of his family go down in the process if they're the ones that's guilty. Family or not, I don't think he cares, because he's about the truth and he wants that to be exposed.
Well, and he's been so deceived by the family. And I mean, imagine that process. I mean, we all maybe have dysfunctional families, or we take a break from certain family members, but we are not him. We are not there. We can act like, and it is easy enough for us all to go to bed at night in our comfy goddamn little beds and go, but I think that's something we really need to bring back in. And I just watched this I have to admit that I watched a video with Kathleen Zellner, some brownstone guy, a few years ago maybe, and I did listen to her entire video. And at one point, there's a lot to it, but she says that one of the men that she exonerated kept a diary every day and kept really thorough notes of what his life was there and what that experience was like. And she said that she felt that it was so crucial for him to keep the world aware of what it was honestly like for him, to keep people, yep, we're all out here, we have amazing access to records, and we have contact with other people that we can talk openly about this, but we've really gotten so far away from exactly what we're here for. And I don't know exactly where the division is at, but for myself, I see no division in it. It's the same frame job. It's the same crime committed. Obviously, we all know Stephen's in jail because of Brendan. Obviously, Brendan's in jail because of Stephen. So I don't want more division, but I guess if it has to be that way, then I personally feel like I maybe shouldn't say this. I will support Brendan and the truth, and I do believe he is 100% innocent. As far as any help for him, I don't know, because he is so manipulated by Barb. And how do you help him with that? We really have no control. She's got complete power and control. So, yep, I know there's fobs out
Right.
there and people that support Brendan that are saying, "Oh, come on, he's a 30-something-year-old man and he's brilliant and nobody controls him." Okay.
Oh, yes, they do.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Mhm. So, should we look at the chat a little, or have I so gotten beyond it? And sometimes at this point, it's best for me to start from the bottom. I hope nobody minds, but I got
Okay.
Bethany saying, but maybe that doesn't work either. Okay, I'm just gonna throw things out. It's not personal if I didn't get to yours or if I do, okay? It looks like Julie Dean is on here. Hey, Julie, and she's saying that we need to pay attention to Stephen's words. Yes, and Bethany is saying yes. Okay, read the letter. I read it, Leah. Or are you talking to me? See, all right, I'm gonna scroll up to a place. How about I do this for everybody that's on the chat right now? I apologize, and guess what? When I get off this chat, it takes a full day for the chat to show up on the video. So I don't shut down my video for me until I read everything you've said. So I will read them. And Sharon, if you would like to
Mhm.
stay on with me, we can go through them together because that's cool
Okay.
too.
Okay.
But what I want you to do right now for everybody on the chat, I don't even know how many there are. Give me your questions, please. I'm at Leah Loves Elohim, and it says, "Oh, I missed it." So right now, please, we're at 11:06 p.m. Give me your questions, and let's, if they're really pertinent, and we didn't get through them, let's answer them right now. Sorry,
Okay.
like I said again, I'm very sorry. Hey, Corey, always happy you're here, Corey. Bethany, I don't know you other than here. Great that you're here. Really appreciate this. All we locals very much appreciate this, and I know, of course, Stephen appreciates this. We are the only voice he has, and all we can do is be an honest voice for him. All we're doing is repeating what he's asking us to repeat. That's it. That's all. Yes, we're adding our input, but we are very, very certain the man is innocent. What did Stephen write in the letter? In this most recent letter, Lancaster, York, he was saying that he made a big list of people he wants to have brain fingerprinting done on. So once
There's
we're
like
done,
there's like 40 people, something like that.
yeah.
I
So go
think.
back after this is done and watch it, and the letter's on there. I read it. Okay. Um, Just Me has got some smiley faces. I know who you are, and I'm smiling back. Bethany says, but deep down, Corey, I truly believe Teresa Hallbuck was never Teresa Hallbuck and is still out there alive. There is
I
absolutely
agree.
no proof the young lady is dead, except
I
one
agree.
fucking tooth. So again, if we want to be, and we do actually, let's do that. Should we do that? Should we start it right fucking here? Then let's go backwards. They have one fucking tooth, people. That's it. The only goddamn proof. And the whole thing that keeps these men behind bars is one tooth. Okay? So maybe we should be just sticking with that, right? Let's just,
Hmm.
why are we even ever going straying off of that topic? Who can justify that? Leah Loves Elohim. How's this for a twist? I think she is a he. I think that I know I've done my own research into transgenderism, and apparently it takes 6 months for a woman to grow a full Adam's apple when she's taking testosterone and transitioning. And that doesn't mean she has to get her, um, get a penis put on or anything. Once you take the testosterone, it starts to make your body develop in a different way. And it is a very, very significant alteration in your appearance. So you, even when you see the person that's transed into a man, you would not know. You would not know that they were a man, and you would not know that it was the other person. So very, very possible. Someone saying, no, she's not a he. Very possible. We don't know. 7, low C, even connected to Karen H, could be a cousin. Call me crazy. Okay, wait.
Hmm.
Oh, that, go to sleep there, oldie. Just me. Sweet dreams, old lady. Okay, Bethany's saying, okay, let's go back because I see Corey said something here. Oh, Leah's saying prominent Adam's apple in photos. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I am not against transgenders. I am for equal rights for everybody. I'm against a deceptive agenda of some of the Hollywood people. But anyway, wouldn't have a problem with somebody either way. I'm just stating that she could very easily have quickly changed her gender.
Mm-hmm. 6
Okay.
months is such a short amount of time
Well, I'm just saying with the
in
Adam's
the big
apple. I'm
scheme
not.
of things.
Yeah,
But
right.
I
But
mean, yeah.
and who even knows? Look at Khloe fucking Kardashian. How weird that I bring her up, but we've all watched her face change very much
Mm-hmm.
over the years. So there's all kinds of ways that she could change. Corey said, "I make a lot of posts about Kathleen, and this is one of my selling points." LOL. She stipulated the bones were Teresa's, meaning she agreed with the police who gave the bones back. She can't agree with the police though because she never tested them herself.
Exactly.
And even if she did, and even especially if she didn't, it's still evidence that
Right.
they can't give back.
And
And
they
they
did.
broke the law. And now I think this is a very good fucking loophole to free our guys, right?
Mm-hmm. It
But
should
yeah,
be.
I'm very Corey, I'm with you on KZ. I don't know. I mean, you think you do know. I feel like I'm pretty sure. I don't care. I don't care what she's doing. I want these guys out. It's fucking enough now. Um Corey says, I think rallies around prisons and courthouses are lame. Rally around the local news channels in Green Bay who never reported hundreds of other stories that could have helped. Corey, you know how I feel about that. The fucking news media is lame. So why go there? I've talked to the editor at the goddamn Post Crescent, and they act like, well, if you make news, we'll cover it. Bullshit. They can't touch this. And I don't believe in any news but truth or news. I don't. I don't believe in any mainstream media. I believe, yep, some of it's probably a little bit true, but there's always something more going on. So I don't give a shit about the lame ass Green Bay news that you don't even need to put out proof. Everybody sees how much the whole the whole trial he was convicted by the media. Absolutely. So fuck.
It's whoever can push their narrative and their agenda forward, and however they want to do it. That's what it boils down
Well,
to.
and of course it's through the media. It's America, people. Come on, yes. And I don't know of protesting anywhere. I look at like I said, me showing up as a protester is not about anything more than me screaming about the injustice, and for that moment in time being able to be Stephen and Brendan's voice. Yeah, it would be great if thousands, yes, oh my God, please, please let that happen. I'll even contribute in all ways I can for that to happen because that's what I believe it's going to take. But even if there's just a few people, even if there's just a few people, even if it's just fucking me one year, I'm going to be screaming it. And what I wanted to say is you wouldn't believe how amazing it feels to be in a group of people that also know how innocent these men are. Like it should be a moment of because we don't just get to go out and talk to everybody in the world about it because everybody does have an opinion or whatever. It should be a really amazing moment of uniting people, and it's become completely opposite of that. Now it's just a weird egomaniacal competition. So I'm not sure how to go about the rallies anymore. we'll wait till the summer, I guess. Bethany says no actual birth records, hospital they claim she was born at. I'm just gonna say there is no fucking birth record of Teresa Halbach, and I have gone through it all, and you know all the researchers, and you know we can find. I think we can find others. Did we find Tim and Mike's? I'm talking about the announcement in the newspaper. I thought maybe it was just the newspaper.com thing, and I know that it would have been printed in my local paper. So last week I went down to my public library and went literally through the microfilms of March 22nd. I went the week before, I went the week after. Then I sat down and did some math, and she does not come up as that birth date. And I will forever be skeptical until someone can produce it. And then even
Well,
after that, I'm going to be skeptical because she
well,
was not born in Kaukauna on March 22nd of
okay,
1980.
so Courtney, I started. It's been a couple of months ago now, but I started like the end of February in on newspapers.com, and I went all the way into the end of March, and maybe even a couple days into April. And
Yep,
I just kept checking every day. I'd put that day
yep,
in, that day, and that day.
yep,
Went day by day through
yep,
that many. Now
yep.
she could be. To me, she looks. To me, she looks older than what she's in her pictures. My daughter was born March 2nd of the same year, and she looks so much older than my daughter at 25. She looks. She looks 5 or 6 or 7 years older than my
And you know,
daughter.
I do believe there's absolutely something there. I don't know.
I'd believe
I,
she's older than 25 when they said she was 25. If you look, I could show you a picture of my daughter. My daughter might even look 10 years younger than her. But and my daughter's not a young looking face, but she does not look the age they say she is.
okay. And you know, right. And let's, whether we're on a live chat right now or not, people don't quit looking for that. That is major to me. I never stop looking for it. And even the people that other people, excellent, amazing, deep down researchers have not come up with that. And that makes me real fishy. It doesn't make me fishy. It makes me, think something's fishy. I may be fishy too. Okay, yes, Bethany, cool that you brought that up. And like I said, keep digging. That is something we need to know. There is something so sketch about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How about this? How about
okay, Bethany's saying here in the comments, Sharon, if she was born in 80, there's no way if she was born in 80, she'd be in 8th grade in 92. Doesn't add
well, I've
up.
read that too.
Okay, so, and then when she died, they said she was 25, but she was actually 25 and 7 months old or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
if you could get, like I said, there's something very odd.
But
Leah
there's
loves
no.
Elohim. You're gonna. Did you ask me this last time? She says, "Can you tell us what you're looking into in Crivets for yet?" No, still can't. Leah, we are so swamped with not only the stuff we have, with the stuff that's still coming, and a way to effectively get Stephen's voice out, get people understanding this rift between the families. Also doing, like the pictures coming up, we never ever stop what we're doing. So that is something that's a bit on the back burner, but don't think for a minute that we are not constantly trying to connect those dots. And I'm sure will. Sharon, did I cut you off before? Did you have something that you were saying about Teresa?
It was. I won't think I'll bring it up here. I think I'll
Okay.
message you about it before we bring it out on public.
Okay, Bethany's saying she doesn't exist. Bethany, I need to talk to you because I'm also similar in this. Like, I believe that there's something really big going on. Okay, Jinx is saying you guys do realize that her birth certificate is in her Auto Trader records, right? Signed and stamped by the Register of Deed, that you could ask for a copy of her birth record from. Okay, can you get it to us? I didn't know that. Cool.
But how many people have had birth certificates made up?
Well, and I
Yeah.
don't know where her birth record is. I would like to see that, but I'm just saying that in all, I can look up, the births of my own birth. I can look up everybody that comes up for this, and hers just has never come up in the
But
newspapers, and it would have been in mine.
why would her birth certificate be on file in her personnel file at Auto Trader? I have never in my life ever gotten a job with my birth certificate. You don't have to show that.
No,
You
for
show
me, you had to have your social security card.
and a driver's license.
That's right. You had to have your birth certificate to get your driver's license.
Yes.
And then you had to, like, for me, that was your kind of right into adulthood, is that you got your social
Okay.
security card so you could get your job. You had to have it.
I used to be a recruiter when I lived in another state, and from as far back as 2000 and forward, but even further back. So, like from the 90s, mid 90s back, or going forward, there's something called an I-9.
Right.
It's your federal form saying, I am legal to work in the United States. There's one of two ways you can meet the criteria. One is your passport, or they have to provide a driver's license and a social security card. Never birth certificates, unless there's a fishy reason why she don't have those, and she had to bring a birth certificate. Now that's the only other thing.
Oh,
Nobody's ever asked me.
I just
That's
assumed if
fishy.
there was ever proof of. Okay, I never really put much thought into the year of her birth until I started looking for it and could not find it, and realized nobody else had posted anything. And the newspaper thing is the only place I've looked. I've never tried to look at it more deeply, but I have never seen anything posted um, of her birth record. So if that's out there, I would like to see that, and then
I
I
would
will
too.
quit going and wasting. Because when you go through microfilms, you don't get to, like, look up a word and search for it. You have to go through every fucking day, every article. So anyway, Dave Bagatka, hello. Remember Carbon Boltwell was supposedly a cousin of Teresa. Yeah, I think she is. Isn't it through the Sukkawati side? Yes. And Dave, there's so much more about Carmen Boltwell. But I feel like getting to the bottom of that is so extra from just where we're at right now.
Do you feel that one would solve the other, Courtney?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah. Jinx is saying I'd post you a few links, but you have that option blocked. I don't know what that means. Blocked where? I don't know how to. I don't know where you mean on this chat. Damn. There isn't even any proof that she was in college.
What?
That's what Bethany's saying. There isn't even any proof that she was in college.
You need to
Okay,
talk to
I don't know
Bethany.
about any of this, and again, we're leading away from exactly where we came. And as always, I don't really go much into detail of the letter, but I do want to end it. And how do I always end it? By saying, "Shit, we're at 2 hours. Where are we at? Almost 2 hours."
1.53.
I want to. I want to be Stephen's voice because he came out with another letter. I'm going to always try to unite the community and coming together to help both of these men and not allow any more division. And I really, really, I'm going to challenge people to get over their luxurious fucking lives and their day-to-day stuff and let's get in the cage with these men. You know what I mean? Because we all have so much freedom to do what we're doing, and we're forgetting. How can we make it so people are remembering that they're living in fucking cages? We don't there's nothing there's no other case, there's no program on television that even as horrific as they make it look, that we could comprehend. You know what I mean? There is nothing glamorous about this. There is nothing okay about this. We, these are human beings. This is Stephen Avery, so devastated, hurt, and fucking over it that he's having to write us letters, and then he's intentionally being silenced by the people that are saying, we're out here for you. Let's, we got to keep fighting. And we got to be really, really real about it. There is no friendships in this. There is no game in this. There's two men living in cages. And if we have to all attack each other to help them get out of cages, then I guess there has to be a major split. There will be for me, because I'm not going to do that. I genuinely very much care for these men and want them out. And I do believe there is an absolute conspiracy against them, for sure. So, okay, I'm gonna end this. I will read your comments when I'm done. I don't know how that will feel. I really appreciate everybody being here. I believe there is gonna be more letters coming. And, oh, shit, did I forget to mention this? Now, we just got sent tonight from, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I don't know where he got them. I don't even know what it's about. Right before I was gonna do the live, he sent these 8 screenshots, and it was of a recent appeal that Steven did, and I didn't even have a chance to look it over, and I don't know how much he even knows about it, but it sounds like, please, I read a few sentences. I talked to Obi. I said, give me the generalization. And it sounds like Steven's doing work to proceed with everything above and beyond Zellner, is what I think. Don't hold me to that. I have not gone over them, but I will have, I will have gone over them by tomorrow. And I do want to do a live if he's willing to. He's very busy. Maybe with others. I don't know. I just want to say that there's already something more out, and I do believe that Stephen is going to be writing more letters, and these letters are very, very important. And don't anybody think that he is so fucking stupid to work against Kathleen Zellner. Nope, she might not be signing her name on the letters, but she knows what's going on. And if you're supporting Stephen, fucking support this man. Right? That's it. And we're all here for it, right?
Yep.
Hey there,
Yeah, I'm
Sharon.
here.
Okay, let's end this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can. You're just a little choppy, but that might be my fault. I just pulled my headset.
I was losing your feed just a few minutes ago. It was breaking up. I don't know
Okay.
what was happening, but it was breaking
I
up.
accidentally jolted on my head thing, and it might have pulled me a little. Basically, what I'm saying is justice for Stephen Avery, justice for Brendan Dassey, and let's try to unite this community so we can get these men free. And
Yep.
thank you, Sharon, so much. I don't know what happened to Kim. I don't know how to control things
She
once I'm
lost her
on.
mic. She lost her mic and she couldn't get it back. And
No,
you're the only
she's
one I
not
think
even
that could.
on. It's not her mic.
Okay.
So I'm not
Okay.
sure what happened. And these are all glitches, and hopefully I can get better at this.
Right.
I appreciate you coming on. I also totally appreciate all the work you're doing and helping us with. And we're all doing some amazing stuff. Everybody, even the people that don't like me, we're rocking the shit hard. And I think we're really, really close. and I don't think that it's going to get prettier. It's only gonna get uglier, so let's get her
Right.
done, right? Hopefully, I'll be back
Right.
tomorrow
Hoorah.
with a live. I had to plan the live because it holds me to doing it because I stress so much, and I really am not a very social person, so for me to be on the videos is kind of I really don't like doing them, but here I am. So, I'm gonna psych
There
myself
you
up
are.
for that. We'll just keep going, right?
Right on.
All right, girl. Have a great night, and thanks everybody for
You
being on
too.
the chat, and I'll hang on there, Sharon, when I end the live. If you'd like, we can read through this together, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. Everybody, good night, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow.